Welcome back to North Dakota Today. It's the new year and many of us have already made our resolutions. But something you might not have thought about is making some emotional goals for yourself. We have Kristen Wenzel from the Hospice of the Red River Valley here to talk about how we can find strength and resiliency during the difficult times in our lives. Hi, Kristen.
Hello,
Thank you
good
for
morning.
joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So why is it important to make New Year's resolutions around grieving?
Well, I think that at the start of the new year, and I think there's this idea that, you know, everywhere around you, you're hearing, let's make New Year's resolutions. Let's do things and do things differently. One of the challenges is when you're in the middle of a grief process, there's not always that joy and fun excitement that comes with the bringing of a new year. So what we like to look at is there ways that people can continue what they're already doing in their grief process, but yet inspire them to go a little bit further with it. And also to know that they get to make some choices in their life at this point. So it's kind of a challenge to be happy, but yet also know that there's some difficult times.
Yeah, and could you dive into that a little bit more? What are some examples of New Year's resolutions?
Well, we have a really cool handout that we have at the office, and it talks about I resolve. It kind of gives you the permission. One of the things that we have found at hospice is that there's people that need some sort of a permission to do the things that they need to do. And one of the ones that I happen to bring a few notes here, but one of the things that I think is one of the ones that I find really difficult is people don't always understand where you're at in your grief. And I think one of the things that as the grieving person that is important to do is to allow others the grace and the ability to know that they might not understand, but to still stay where you're at. If you're having a difficult time, allow yourself that ability to do that, but yet also maybe try to educate others in what they can do to help you. So yeah, that's one. And also just to know that grief happens as it's going to happen. And you can't rush it. You can't make it different. You have to be able to know that you are in a spot and allow yourself the ability to take the time that it needs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I wanted to kind of switch gears because I know I've been in a spot where, you know, a family member or friend is grieving. How can you help your family member or friend who's going through that hard time?
Well, and I appreciate that because we get those phone calls on a regular basis. You know, every day it's like, you know, my friend just had a loss. What can I do to help? I think the same things that go through for the grieving person is also what their friends can do. Acknowledge. Sometimes we just need to be there and listen to what they're dealing with. The other thing is that even if we don't understand where they're at, is to allow them to grieve where they need to and to be kind and to be friendly. You know, we've talked a lot about in other shows about, you know, allowing them to talk, allowing them to do the things that they do, reaching out if you feel that you need to. I think those things all still hold true, but I also think that just allowing them to be where they are and to not question so much and think that maybe they're not moving along as fast as they could.
So what resources are available for those who are going through a grieving period?
We have a multitude of things at Hospice of the Red River Valley. We have support groups, we have one-on-one. You know, I think one of the things that I like to get the word across is that Hospice of the Red River Valley, you do not have to have had a loved one on hospice to be able to take a part in our bereavement services. So I think the best thing to do would be just to give us a call. If you're that friend who wants to know how to help, call us. If you're the person who's grieving, please feel free to give us a call. The website that we have is hrrv at .org. Yeah, and I hope that that information will come across, but it's www.hrv.org, and all of our groups, all of our classes, everything, and also individual work. We don't charge for any of our services, so I think that's a bonus too.
Well, thank you so much,
You're
Kristen.
very
a very
welcome.
important topic to talk about, definitely. So, but we have so much more coming up on today's show. How one group has worked to save thousands of dogs in need.